I, Tara, am a very hard-working woman. I grew up dirt poor and had to work multiple minimum wage jobs to finally get a decent one. No, I never went to college. I didn't have the means for that. I was busy working and finally got married to my husband, Luke. Luke was my senior at my job and we dated after he took a transfer. I really thought that he had loved me. That's why I married him. That's why I supported him when he lost his high-paying job and had to take a huge pay cut. I didn't protest when he bought a house with his savings and put only his name on it. No, I didn't complain. Instead, I gave him money to build back his savings and poured more money into our household account. I really did love him. That was until I found him cheating on me. Luke had been cheating on me for a whole year. I found all the evidence and confronted him. He didn't deny anything. Instead, he was proud of it. I wanted to leave, but Luke didn't want a divorce for some reason. We fought and I was ready to go nuclear. But it was our son, Harry, who changed my mind. He said, "Mom, I'm just 16. I don't want to split time between you and Dad. I love you two equally. Please don't get a divorce." "Harry, I understand your concerns, son, but it is impossible for me to have a relationship with your father anymore. He has broken our vows and betrayed me, son." "He says that he made a mistake, Mom. Dad wants to make this work. Can't you give him a chance? At least for me." Harry kept telling me how he didn't want us to separate. He is my son. I am his mother. His words softened me a lot. I didn't want him to suffer more than necessary, so I decided to give Luke a chance. Luke promised to end the affair for good. Things were back to normal for 6 months. After that, I got to know that Luke had started seeing the woman again. I resented him, but I still stayed for Harry. He was my only support now. If I lost him, I wouldn't have anyone. Years passed and Luke finally graduated high school. He didn't want to go to college and instead started to look for a job. I wanted to support him, so I did. Finally, Luke found a job in the newly opened restaurant in our area. I was happy because my son had a job and because I knew the business well. My happiness didn't last long though. The day before Harry was about to sign the contract and join work, he sat me down with his dad. Luke then said, "Tara, since Harry has turned 18 now, there'll be no custody issues anymore. Here are the divorce papers and your eviction notice. I want you out." "What? What kind of ambush is this, Luke? You can't just spring this on me. You are being ridiculous. You can't just threaten to kick me out like this. Harry, why are you silent? God, Mom, you really are stubborn. Dad doesn't want to have you in this house anymore, and frankly, I don't either. I already have a job now, so we don't need you anymore. Money is the only thing you are good for anyway." I was surprised to hear this from Harry. This was coming from my own son, who convinced me to stay with his father. Luke was laughing at what Harry said, and from the expression on my face, he said, "Look at that, will you, Tara? Your own son is ready to kick you out as well. I guess you aren't the mom of the year after all." "Harry, are you serious? You too want me to leave? I don't understand this. Are you angry at me? What did I do wrong?" "You are freaking annoying, you know. Dad's girlfriend is much better. She's a fun parent and knows how to be friends with me. All you do is yell at me and tell me to study." "What? You prefer your dad's affair partner over me? Are you even hearing yourself right now?" "She's a much cooler person, Mom. I'm thinking of calling her Mom as well. God, she's beautiful and fun. She's literally the dream parent of everyone. You know, she even has a big fortune. She assured me that it would all be mine once she passed. Meanwhile, you have nothing." I was too stunned to speak. Hearing my own son sing praises of my husband's mistress was something that I never imagined would happen. Luke was having a great time hearing my son humiliate me and praise him for cheating on me with such an amazing woman. Apparently, the woman had agreed to marry Luke and adopt Harry if Harry got a job. Something about making sure she doesn't get a bunch of gold diggers. I felt sick listening to them talk. I was shaking while sitting on the sofa. Harry and Luke continued to sing praises of the other woman. Harry said, "So that's why I would rather stay with my dad's girlfriend. She loves me so much. She can't have kids, so she will leave me her estate. That's why I managed to find this amazing job and convince her that we are not gold diggers. Now that I have this job, I or Dad don't need your dirty money anymore." "That's right. We don't need you anymore, Tara. You need to leave. The divorce will be easy, you know. Since Harry's an adult, there will be no child support or anything of that sort. It'll be a clean break." Am I really that disposable to you two? All this time I was only required for money and nothing else? Is this what I deserve? It's your fault that you couldn't keep us happy. Dad realized that a long time back and ended up having an affair. I realized that as well and decided to support him. So yes, you probably deserve this treatment. You are a failure as a wife and mother. I broke down and started to cry very loudly. Those words hurt like hell and were like a knife through my chest. Harry and Luke did nothing but laugh at me and call me useless. I already knew that Luke was a complete piece of shit, but I had no idea that my own son would be so cruel towards me. I spent years of my life looking after these two, and today they have called me a failure, among others. I was heartbroken, but their laughter also incited something else in me. It made me mad, and I could feel rage boiling inside me. I made a promise to myself. I will get back at these two for good. I removed myself from that place and went upstairs to my room. Harry and Luke were having an animated discussion about their next moves. Luke had already given me divorce papers and an eviction notice. He said that he won't fight me in the divorce. I guess he thought that he didn't need my money anymore. He could rely on Harry till his mistress married him. I calculated my next move and went back downstairs. I said, "Luke, you want a divorce, right? And you two want me out of the house as well? Okay then, I'll grant you your wishes. I have called my lawyer and he will be here in a few hours. You can call your lawyer and finalize the papers now." "So, you finally accepted defeat then. Good for you. Not like there's another way for you anyway. Before our lawyer gets here, I want to warn you that you won't get any part of this house. Well, this is our marital asset, so you should be giving me half of the house. I can stay out of this place until everything is finalized, but I will still get half of the house." "Absolutely not. I bought this place with my own money. You won't be getting any part of it. It will all belong to Harry." "Mom, how can you be so selfish? You don't want me to inherit the house? You will rob me of my inheritance if you take half of this house. Dad won't be able to buy you out, so he would have to sell this place." Wow, that's an incredible assumption, Harry. I didn't know you two were so attached to this place. I also didn't know that you think I'm robbing you of your inheritance, Harry. Anyway, since this house is so important to you, I won't claim half of it. But Luke has to forfeit his alimony and his right to sue me in the divorce. "I will sign it, Tara. I don't want your money anyway. Plus, I know your little alimony will do shit for us. My girlfriend can take care of us much better." As I got this confirmation from Luke, my lawyer walked in through the door. After a while, Luke's lawyer came as well. I signed the divorce papers and Luke did as promised. He wouldn't be able to claim alimony anymore. He looked very proud of himself and smiled at Harry. I put on a poker face and cooperated as much as possible. Inside, I was boiling with rage and hurt, but I didn't let it reflect on my face. I just needed Luke to sign the papers ASAP. As for Harry, since he was an adult now, there would be no issues of custody or child support. Thank God for that. I had no interest in dealing with someone who didn't even love his own mother. Anyway, the papers were signed and the lawyer left. I immediately went back to my room and locked the door. Then I called my best friend. She said, "Is it done, Tara? Have you two signed the divorce papers?" "Yes, I have actually. Luke didn't put up a fight. He agreed to let go of the alimony entirely." "Great! Only a few more months and then you will be a free woman. And we will be able to say good riddance. Something to look forward to, I guess." "Yes, I want to get out of this house now. I'm freaking done with Luke and Harry. What about you, Jillian? Have you made a decision?" "Of course I have, Tara. No one insults my best friend and gets away with it. I'll be teaching that ungrateful son of yours a big lesson. Just let me go to work tomorrow." I was satisfied with what Jillian said. I was moving in with her the next day and got busy packing. Downstairs, Luke was excitedly telling his affair partner about how he was finally free and his son kept his promise to her. They got rid of me and made a place for Luke's affair partner to become a permanent fixture in their lives. Luke was shouting on the phone with joy. He didn't have to hide his affair after all. Neither did Harry have to fake being disgusted about the affair. But they didn't know that their joy would soon turn into full-blown sorrow. My best friend would make sure of it. Before calling my lawyer, I called her and told her everything. She was, of course, furious and promised to help me out in every possible way. And boy, did she deliver. She invited me to stay with her before I could find more permanent accommodations, and she had a special surprise for both Luke and Harry. The next day, Harry cheerfully got dressed and left to go to work. It was his first day at work after all. He needed to look and do his best. He whistled happily, got into his car and left. After some time, I put my things in the trunk of my car and left as well. First, I dropped off my stuff at Jillian's place where she was waiting for me. Then, the two of us drove to the restaurant where Harry got the job. When we went there, we could hear Harry shouting at the staff. As soon as she saw us, Harry got quiet and wide-eyed. I smiled at him and said, "What's the matter, Harry? Trouble at your new work? I can see that the staff are refusing to let you work. Are you sure you still have this job?" "That's none of your business. No one has fired me. I'm waiting for the owner to arrive. I'll take it up with her and work this out. No reason for you to butt in." "Oh, don't worry, son. I won't be butting in at all. This is your workplace after all, and this dispute is between you and your employer. I won't say anything about this." "Good. Now you and Jillian can go mind your own business. I have stuff to do. I'm not useless like you two here. No wonder she's your best friend, Mom. It looks like she doesn't have anything to do on a Monday morning as well." Hearing this, Jillian and I started to laugh out hysterically. Even the staff were holding their laughter for the sake of professionalism. Harry looked extremely embarrassed and then turned angry. He shouted at us and said, "Will you two stop laughing for God's sake? You're embarrassing me. This is why I like my dad's girlfriend better than you, Mom. And you, Jillian, you need to mind your business instead of gossiping about me with Mom." "Oh dear, let me just compose myself. You are hilarious, Harry. I will give you that. Anyway, I'm minding my own business, Harry. This restaurant is my business." "What? What do you mean?" "Don't just speak what comes to mind. You are only embarrassing yourself here." "My innocent little child, Harry. You really should have done some research on the place you have interviewed. I own this place, Harry. This is my business, and you are standing here insulting the one who was supposed to be your employer." Harry looked shocked at what Jillian said. He was starting to sweat while trying to figure out if Jillian was telling the truth. I was still smiling behind Jillian and staying out of the conversation as I promised Harry. This was between them after all. Harry said, "There's no way you own this place. You are a freaking housewife. You don't have any money of your own. There is no way you could have afforded to buy this big restaurant. Even though you have no business hearing this, let me tell you how. After my husband died, I was left with quite a bit of money. I didn't want to mope around and do nothing, so I purchased this place last year. How do you think the old cafe turned into such a big restaurant out of the blue? Well, I invested and renovated everything. That's impossible. You're lying to me. You're nothing but trash, claiming someone else's business as yours. Oh, really, Harry? God, you are a hard sell. Okay then, why don't you ask around and find out? My staff are standing right here. Go ahead, Harry. Ask them. Harry looked around and everyone nodded their heads in agreement. That confirmed to him that the restaurant did indeed belong to Jillian. He was now very, very scared and gulped hard. Harry knew that he had messed up big time. He faced Jillian and said, "Oh, that's so good of you, Aunt Jillian. You did well for yourself. I can't believe I'll be working for you from now on. This makes my job and life so much easier." Hold on to that thought, Harry. I believe that my staff has told you about how I am firing you from this job. I did confirm about giving you the job, but I changed my mind. The woman who interviewed you didn't know what a shit person you are, but thankfully I do. And I don't want an ungrateful human working for me. No, Jillian. You misunderstood me. I'm a great worker. That's why your staff hired me. I swear I will do my best for this job. I'm very hard working. Don't give me that bullshit, Harry. I know what a lazy little bum you are. I have been seeing you for 18 freaking years. You don't lift a finger in your house and have zero work experience. You only went job hunting to make sure your dad's mistress accepted you. Okay, fine. Maybe I don't have any work experience, but I will still do my best. I can promise you that. I'll take this job seriously and give it my all. You literally kicked your mother to the curb the moment you found a better parent. You used and discarded your mom when it felt like you didn't need her anymore. After all this, you still think you are dependable? There is no way I will hire you, Harry. Since we didn't sign a contract, consider this job out of your hands. I will find easy replacements for you. Harry didn't expect this to happen at all. He thought that his begging would have at least some effect on Jillian. Instead, she aired his dirty laundry all over the restaurant, even though they were still long from opening in the morning. The staff there did hear everything. They were casting nasty glances at Harry and moving away from him. Suddenly, Harry realized that his chance of convincing his rich stepmother was slipping out of his hands. He panicked and turned to me. I guess he did need me to butt in after all. He said, "Mom, why are you silent? Why can't you tell Jillian that I will keep my word? You need to do something." "Why will I, Harry? You told me to stay away from your business, so I'm doing just that. This is between Jillian and you. I don't want to overstep in any way." "That's bullshit. She thinks I'm not dependable because of you. You need to assure her that I am dependable, Mom. She is your best friend and I'm your son." "You are no son of mine, Harry. You forfeited the right to call yourself my son when you chose your dad's mistress over me. This is your karma, Harry. Jillian's assessment of you is absolutely on point. You are ungrateful and not dependable at all. There is no way she should hire you." Harry immediately went mad and started to show his true face again. He started to harass me and call me names. He was so angry that I saw a staff member pull out her phone ready to call 911. Jillian remained calm while Harry insulted us both. He said, "You think you can get away with treating me like this? Just you wait. I'll land a job and then make my stepmother buy this place. I will destroy you, Jillian." "You think your stepmother will buy my business?" God, again. You are so freaking hilarious, Harry. That woman doesn't even have a penny to her name. "What do you mean? You don't know her? She's a rich heiress with lots of wealth. She has the power to destroy you." You are just as stupid as your father, Harry. The mistress told you what you wanted to hear, and you guys didn't even check to see if it was true. Your new stepmother is nothing but a beggar. "That's impossible. You're just being a jealous witch and spreading lies about her. You hate it that she's more beautiful and rich than you." "You are being delusional, Harry. After I found out about your father's affair, I told Jillian everything. She did some digging and found some interesting information on your dad's mistress." "She is broke as shit, Harry. She lives off of your father's money under the guise of testing him to see if he is a gold digger. She planned to make you get a job and trap your dad in marriage. Then she would sit on her butt like a queen and survive on your salaries." Harry looked like he was struck by lightning. I could tell that he had a hard time believing our words. Our facts did make sense to him, but I guess he was unable to accept it. We told him to go and check the truth by himself. Off he drove in the quest of finding the truth. I'll give you a brief account of the aftermath of that day. Harry grew desperate for answers and told Luke everything. The two of them set out to find the truth and see what was going on. The mistress manipulated them with lies again to keep them at bay. Meanwhile, I managed to get a court date for divorce and started our 6 months of separation. My stupid ex-husband Luke was so deep in denial that he married his mistress after those 6 months. He actually discarded his son on the words of his mistress. Harry had been abandoned by Luke because his mistress didn't want him. Harry came to me for help. He cried about how difficult life was and how his dad kicked him out. He couldn't get a decent job due to his lack of experience. Plus, Jillian warned many of her business associates against hiring Harry. Harry was now desperate to get my forgiveness and be back under my roof. I told him to leave and only come back after he paid for his sins. He had to leave to become a Walmart employee and now shares an apartment with 2 people. My ex found out about his mistress's finances after marriage. Luke finally realized that we had been telling the truth. His mistress was using him and baiting him. He is now stuck in an unhappy marriage and often texts me to beg for a second chance. I have no intention of ever doing that, of course. Instead, I'm thinking of purchasing his house since it is on sale to get rid of Luke's new wife's credit card debts. Let me know whether I should go for it. Thanks for listening.